Akash Shinsi, the real reflection of you. Earlier today, just after karate practice, I was on my way back home. I was just leaving the parking lot. And as I left the parking lot, I scraped the rear tire area, the rear door of our Subaru Crosstrek. My dad's Subaru Crosstrek, it's not mine. And I traded some paint with the wall. And I was like, wow, okay, that happened. Now, in that moment of hearing the sound and hearing the paint being traded and realizing that something's going on there that probably shouldn't be happening, I took a moment to myself and I thought, what am I going to tell my dad? And in that moment, I felt a pang of guilt or like shame, remorse, if you will, of like I can't believe this happened, like damn, you know. And that's the PG version of it. And then I immediately changed that thought to, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to demonstrate my courage and my truth of letting my dad know I scraped the car. And it's amazing how I flipped that situation around from a place of like, oh man, I can't believe I just scraped the car. I don't even have the money to be able to repair this right now. I have like, I can't believe this happened, and going into the negative spiral of like, this type of stuff always happens, and whatever that negative spiral would be, and could easily go down deep into it. But I decided that this moment was an opportunity for me to check in with myself. It was a perfect opportunity to be truthful, to be honest, to be forthright with my father about the situation that I'm in. And so I'm driving back home. I'm thinking, all right, well, what do I say to him? What do I say to him? How do I, what do I do? And that voice that was telling me, just be forthright, be honest, tell the truth, continued to grow stronger and stronger as I drove back home. Now I get pulled back into the driveway and open the garage and I take off my shoes. I walk into the house. I see my dad's like watching TV. He's got his headphones on. At this point, still unknowing of the damage that I had caused to his car. And it felt real to me. I was like, oh, wow, like, I'm about to go do this right now. And so it felt a lot for me, so I was like, I went back into the garage. I swapped my shoes, something like this, like made a quick phone call, and I was just thinking to myself, like I left a voicemail to someone close, and I was explaining the situation to them, and in doing so, I kind of figured out what I was going to do next and how I was going to say it. I was thinking, like, well, if I was in his position, how would I want this information delivered? And so I went back inside the house, and I was like, hey, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. And then I went over to him, and I'm like, I was standing up originally, and he was kind of sitting down, so I was above him. And I'm like, hey, Dad, I gotta let you know that I scraped the car as I was on my way back from karate, and he's obviously asking me like how, like the details of it. I showed him a couple pictures of the car itself, just so he could see what it looked like. And that was that, you know, like that was the situation, and that was what I had in that moment of telling the truth, owning to my mistakes, being responsible for my transgressions, as I like to say. And in the midst of telling him the story, I neglected this. So I was standing up originally, and then I slowly it came down to I was kind of like sitting down on my feet, kind of not like I was sitting over my legs, you know, like sitting on my heels. That's what I put it. I was sitting on my heels, like with my knees bent, so it was kind of like in a, I don't know, like a kneeling position, but seated kneeling position. To meet him at eye level versus standing over him, I just would have, to me, it was like, well, there's something I have to see. I have to meet him eye to eye on this, and not only in the figurative sense, but in the literal sense. And at that point, that was it, you know. Whatever his reaction is his reaction. I mean, there's nothing that I can do. The situation is as it is. And that's not the point of the story. The point of the story to me is that sense of being honest, being forthcoming with information that's difficult to deliver, right? No one likes to go up to someone and be like, hey, I damaged something that's yours. And at this point in time, I don't even have the ability to, I wouldn't say I don't have the ability, I don't have the means to repair it. What do you do? How do you deliver that type of information? And so that was my experience today. That was my story for today. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be truthful today and to demonstrate what that really means through my living. Keep up, thrive, and stay sexy.